Halloween because somehow those two things lined up pretty perfectly. This week, I want to see if we can make a craft room cryptid. Baba Yanga? It's a werewolf. So more than just creating something though, I want to see if we can make it move. And in the spirit of that, I have this. Warning to all arachnids out there, okay? This might actually creep you out. It's a little robot spider that's apparently powered by salt water, but I've had this thing sitting in the corner of my craft room for years now. And so I want to see if we can use this as like a base to create our werewolf. Their wool. Every werewolf. The first thing we got to do is get this out of its box and just see if it even works. And just as a disclaimer here, if it doesn't work or parts of it have worn out, it's probably because I've had it sitting around forever and it is likely no fault of this company, just to be clear. There was definitely meant to be more sponge. Which is funny because there's like none in the bag that it was stored in either. So it's just gotten squished or destroyed over time and now I don't know if this will work. Dang. All right, I got to problem solve this. I have felt and double-sided tape. Hopefully that gets the job done. Hopefully that works. Alright, I think that's all the pieces. The legs don't move when I roll the wheels, so I don't know how successful this is going to be, but still. Speeder. So now we just have the science part of this. Okay, so I've made a little spider. So now all I have to do is test it, which just means I need to go and mix up some salt water. And I really hope it runs because otherwise this video is going to be a different sort of nightmare. Okay, so I have my salt water here. It's not very exciting. It's just tears of my enemies and all that. And so apparently this fuel cell should just slide right out. It does not. Come on, buddy, work with me here. I wish I'd known it had to come straight back out before I pushed it all the way in. So, fuel cell slides out. Yep. Take out the little magnesium sheet. Apparently all I'm supposed to do is use my pipette and put some salt water onto this little sheet. Now when this happens, it might happen quite quickly, so be ready, okay? If there is a mess to be made, you can trust me to make it. This little dropper is not powerful. That has to be enough, surely. Ruined my cardboard, but I got a desk mat coming, so I'm excited about that. Okay, well everything's wet. And I have regret. Okay, there we go. That's back on. And now if I just put it in here, the moment of truth. It's making noises. Come on, buddy. I believe in you. Okay. Okay. It is trying to work. I think I have to take the whole thing apart, and we'll give it one more go. Ooh. I hope that was supposed to come off. Oh no. Okay, so I've even removed the legs just to remove all resistance for these cogs. And it's kind of crackling a little bit, but it's just not really working. Okay, the engine, it's going. Okay, so I've had a few attempts. This was all supposed to be just like the opening 30 seconds of the video, but we're here anyway. And while I can get the little internal cog to turn, it's barely capable of turning one of the interior cogs, and certainly not all of them, even though part of the problem was that they were catching on the outer shell. And even if it was up to the task, it's certainly not up to the task for turning the cogs while, like, with the weight of the plastic casing and anything I put over the top of it. However, I'm not going to let this stop me. It just means that movement is probably not in the cards today. But I'm still going to use the nice creepy little leggies and the internal structure to create the little craft room monster that I want to make. All I've done is, this is just the plastic shell. And even with just the plastic shell, the front leg's wheel mechanism still does not work at all. But I've taken out the fuel cell, as they called it, and the little turbine, because I don't want rusty electric parts or a magnesium sheet in the middle of my crochet. So I feel like that makes some sense. All right, let's get on to some sketching. This project is just beginning. So my first idea was just to create a literal spider over the top. However, given that the internal mechanism is not going to work for us at all, that's just kind of a plain crochet spider, and I don't feel like that's really in the spirit of what we're doing today. Now, don't get me wrong, it'd be cute, but it's just not really in the spirit. So my second idea was to like really lean into a yarn monster. I don't know, I've been playing around with the concept of like the werewolf. Like the full moon strikes and the ball of yarn becomes some sort of terrifying monster. But then I wasn't really sure it was going to fit with the actual shape of the spider that we had. I did like the creepy legs, and I like the idea of leaving the creepy legs sticking out on their own. So I think that if we just take the abdomen off and just use the front section, we can turn it into like an eye ball of yarn. So yes, something like that. So that didn't take very long. I'm actually really pleased with this idea. So we're going to take the butt off the spider and just use this piece in the middle as our base, and then crochet like a round ball base piece that will have to be created in 2 halves so that we can like fit it like a clamshell over the top of the spider with the legs sticking out in between. And then create an eyepiece, probably with an angry eyebrow if we're realistic here, and probably a couple of little teeth. And then I'm thinking I wanted to have the texture of a ball of yarn. I don't want it to just be a crocheted ball. So what color do you reckon a wereball is? I'm thinking a dark color might be the call here. I don't know, I don't want it to be too cheesy. I mean, it's very cheesy, but we don't want it to be too cheesy. So I'm thinking, there's our little spider friend. He's really not very big. He's just a little guy. What's a monstery color? Ooh, maybe this. What are you? It's called electric. It's called electric, which is everything the spider promised to be and isn't. It's about right. We're going with electric. Now for the easy part. So I started by making a little ball for the base. Oh, just a cute little bean. Time has come to detach your butt, I think. Oh, ow. Oh, who turned out the lights? And I separated it into 2 pieces so they could sandwich around our plastic base like a little clamshell, allowing the legs to poke out either side. Rah! It would be a horrible missed opportunity if I didn't take this clam make it into some kind of mouth. It's a bit hard with all of those spider bits in there. So with the base pieces done, next up I made and stitched on a little eye. And I sewed it on using just the back loops of those stitches to allow a little bit of a raised eyelid. Now, to get the yarn texture on the outside of the ball, I did decide to use chains, sewing them on as I went to build up that texture. How does that even happen? You're being a little nightmare, dude. I wish you'd behave yourself. Well, at least I started that process before realizing that it probably made more sense to attach the pieces around the base first, and then I could use longer strands and wrap it around in a slightly more organic manner. So I pivoted. He's giving very Drut vibes. Any other trapdoor fans out there? It's just like... Now back to the yarn texture. Let it go. Let it go. Thank you. I have decided that he is my craft room cryptid, and with the help of Faith over on the Complicated Knots Discord, I have put together a little bit of a profile for him. So, I would like to present to you the Weasel. This cryptid is spotted in the dark corners of craft rooms and disguises itself as a ball of yarn. It likes to curl up inside large yarn stashes and hibernate until the full moon. It sleeps so deeply that many crafters have crocheted projects from werewolves without even knowing. You'll know you have werewolves if there are suddenly yarn scraps all over your crafting area. They are thought to be left by the werewolf as it scuttles around, hunting for unfinished projects. And there is my finished werewolf. So while I was disappointed that I couldn't get him to move the way I wanted him to, I really like how creepy those plastic legs look sticking out of him. And it's got me thinking, maybe we need to do some more toy makeovers in future. What do you think? He's kind of fun, and let me show you why. He has these little spikes on his legs from where I clipped them out of the plastic, so he kind of like sticks. Happy Halloween, everyone! Wait, where was A10 supposed to go? I might move you in a little bit closer just so that we can get the shot should it happen. Let's just think things through. Did I assemble the wheels wrong? Because that one's turning fine. So I am the problem. By far the single most frustrating thing I have ever tried to build from anything ever, and I like Lego, alright? I like that sort of thing. Rah! Rah, 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 rah. Hello. I gotta say, I love the fact that thanks to the color, I can still refer to this as electric amigurumi. You're facing the wrong way, bud. It's getting him to let go. That's kind of the trick. Thumbnail image right there.